Difficult is not
impossible.
Difficult is not
Impossible.
Difficult is not
Impossible.
All right, so we've been chanting difficult is not impossible since the beginning of the year, right?
Yes.
So what do we mean when we say difficult is not impossible? What does that mean? Turn and talk. What does that mean?
It means difficult is not impossible. Like you can do it and it's not impossible. Your turn.
So what does it say difficult? You can say
Okay. They just get recorded. You look like Tegan's face. Look at Tegan's face.
Incredible.
Ha!
Alright, right now the expectation is that
You look
your
like
mouth
Tegan's
is closed, your eyes are on me, you're sitting straight up. Tegan has his eyes on me, Kiara's mouth is closed. William's about to put his eyes on me, he's sitting straight up. Excellent. Why do we say difficult is not impossible? What does that mean? Loud and clear. What does it mean, William? I should be able to hear you all the way over here.
Difficult is not impossible. Like when you do something that's not right, when you do something that's not right, it's not like you can finish doing it until you get it right.
Oh, that's a good point. You finish until you get it right. Okay. Who wants to add on to what William said? Yes.
Can you tell me why Naeem not in your class?
Naeem. He walked out of class. I told him to go to Mr. Collins.
He walked out or you told him to go to Mr. Collins?
He walked out and then I told him to go to Mr. Collins.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, now, it's fine. So now, when William just said, William, repeat the last part. I'm sorry for the distraction.
I said when they say difficult, it's like when they say difficult, it's like when you do something wrong, and then when you keep trying, you might get it right.
You do something incorrectly, your attention should be on me. You do something incorrectly, and you keep trying, right, and you might get it right the next time. Who wants to add on to what he said?
Mr. McKissick?
Yes?
Okay, he's on his way back to your class. If you don't get there, please call me back.
I will. Thanks, Miss Sharon. Okay, Stephen, go ahead and add on to William. Why do we say difficult is not impossible, and what does it mean?
When we say difficult is not impossible because difficult is not impossible is because something that you do is not impossible. Sometimes people give up too much and then they say this is impossible, but it's really not. All you gotta do is keep on trying.
Excellent. So we have the this not impossible part, but when something's difficult, what does that mean? If something is difficult, John Yao. What does difficult mean, John Yao? Try again. Difficult. If I say this is difficult.
Ooh, difficult. You trying to say that?
That is what?
You misunderstand that.
Help them out, Lamont.
That is hard.
It's hard. So I'm going to go ahead and bring together all of the beautiful responses that I got from you guys. Now, when we say difficult is not impossible, we're saying that just because, go sit on the carpet, just because something is hard, or just because...
Pardon interruption. Darius Mallett, please report back to Ms. Chestnut's room.
Or
Darius Mallett, please report back to Ms. Chestnut's room.
Or just because something takes a lot of energy or a lot of effort, your eyes are on me. That does not mean that it's impossible. And John Yao gave us a great point. Or Stephen gave us a great point. He said a lot of times if something's too hard for someone, they may say this is impossible and give up. Where are you guys going to be in 10 years?
College.
Now, in order to get to college, are you going to have some difficult task that you have to complete?
Yes.
Yes. Now, are you going to give up on those difficult tasks?
No.
No, because in the back of your mind, you know that difficult is not
Impossible.
excellent. So you know that there's still hope. You just have to work the name for that is persistence. Say persistence.
Persistence.
Can someone loud and clear please read the definition for persistence? Come on, go ahead. And they should be able to hear you all the way in the back table. Continuing
to do something or to try to do something even
though
it is difficult or other people want you to stop. Difficult is not impossible.
Excellent. So, persistence. Say, what's persistence?
What's persistence?
When you keep going. When you keep going, even if something is hard or difficult, or if somebody's in your ear telling you, you can't do it, you won't make it, you're going to fail, you're weak, you're dumb, you're not, and you keep going. That's what we call persistence. And that's why Ms. McKenzie has that stuck in your head, that difficult is not impossible. Because when you think something is impossible, you do what? You give up, right?
Yes.
Right. So, we've been learning that difficult is not impossible, and now we know that when we keep going, even when something is hard, or even when our friends or our people or our classmates tell us that we can't do it, we know that that is called what?
Persistence.
What's it called?
Persistence.
Now, this is what I would like for you to do. I want you guys to think about a time in my class. And then next, in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to think about a time outside of school. Think about a time in class where you had to be persistent, where you had to keep going, even when something was difficult, even when someone told you you couldn't do it. On the back of this sheet, I'm going to give you 1 minute to write as much as you can about that time, okay? So everyone turn your paper over to the back. Think about a time in Miss McKenzie's class where you showed persistence, okay? And your 1 minute is going to start as soon as these kids get their papers. So I'll give you 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, beautiful. Shabria's table is on task. Stephen's table. Your 1 minute has started right now. Gregory is silently and independently working on his response. Ahmad is diligently working. Dion and Morgan, excellent. A time where you showed persistence, where you kept going, even though it was difficult. And I'm sorry, 1 minute is not enough. I'll give you about 3 minutes. Not even please stop it. I got a job for you. Quickly. Hurry up, come here. Y'all should be working on your paper. So when it touches it this time, it will go down this time, that's 1. And then it will go down around again, and that will be 2. Let me know, okay? Yes, William? It's, it's called the interim assessment. Interim assessment. You guys are working beautifully. You have about 1 minute and 10 seconds left. When Naeem says time, your pencils are down and you're in shine position, okay?
Yes.
When you finish, go ahead and sit in your position. We have 30 seconds left. When you hear 19 say time, you're going to put your pencil down and hop in shine position.
Time.
Excellent. Put your pencil down, hop in shine. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you have just written about a time where you were persistent. Who can remind their classmates and their teacher what persistence is? In your own words, what's persistence? London, go ahead.
Well, persistence in my own words is when somebody whispers in your ear and they say you can't do it, but then you can.
Okay, what else? Shaheed.
Persistence means when somebody tells you, when somebody tells you something in your ear, but you and they say that you can't do something, but you can. That means
Persistence. And Steven?
Persistence means somebody tells you you can't do it, but you do it. But you try hard, and then you really do it.
Does someone always have to tell you that you can't do something? It could just be what? Difficult, right?
Yeah.
All right, so something's difficult or someone tells you you can't do it and you keep going. Now I want you to turn and talk with the partner and I want you to share with them your time. Not right now, I'm sorry, when I tell you to go. I want you to share with them a time in class where you had to show that you were persistent. And remember, turn and talk. You look at your partner. While your partner's talking, you are listening. And then you're getting ready to speak when it's your turn. When you're finished with your turn and talk, you are going to turn and face the front. Okay? You may begin your turn and talk.
Mr. Kizik. Mr. Kizik.
Up, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
You don't have to read what you wrote. You can just talk about it, okay? So writing was just to get your thoughts flowing. You can just talk. Turn and talk. Yes.
Mr. Kizik.
So when was the time where you guys had to be persistent?
The time when I was persistent was when persistent is when somebody told me I couldn't do something. I forgot what it was, but it's something that you said don't copy that. That's the time I was.
Who told you you couldn't do something? In my class.
Let's see. Oh, Daddy said I couldn't do something. I forgot. Is it here?
What was it? Your test?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you still do it? And did you still get a good grade? Excellent. Now, Savaya's going to share hers with you.
So you're still doing it?
Excellent.
Okay, cool. Leave your face. Leave your face. Huh? She told me not to.
Excellent, Wilson.
They can't do it.
2 claps and a step. Excellent. So now I want to hear some. I want to hear from some people who I have not heard from so far today. Tell me about a time in our class where this year where you had to Okay. William?
One day when I was persistent, when we had to do
Interim assessment?
internal assessment test, it was hard, but I did it.
Excellent, William. And let me hear one more. One more. I heard from Steve. Dion, I haven't heard from you this morning. Go ahead. You kept trying. Did you give up? You kept trying. Excellent. And I cannot wait to read these and hear about all of the persistence that you guys have been exhibiting. Now I have to ask you something. Since we always say difficult is not
Impossible.
and you guys always know that just because something is hard, that doesn't mean you give up. Tell me the honest to God truth. Let's just have a discussion. And I want to know the truth. Don't just tell me what you think will make me happy. When you're working on something and it gets hard, do you tell yourself, just because it's hard, that doesn't mean I'm going to give up? I have to build my stamina. I have to keep going. I have to try. What goes through your head in my class, ever since we've started learning about how difficult is not impossible, what goes through your head when you come to something that seems like it might be a bit difficult? What's going through your head? Ahmad? Loudly. So in your head you're thinking, I'm not going to get it. But so does that make you want to stop? Do you just stop and quit? Do you? If you do, that's fine. It's not fine, but just if you do, that's what you do. Do you stop and quit? Sometimes. But now that you know that we need to have persistence. First of all, wait, we didn't even talk about this. Why is it important to have persistence? Where are y'all going to be in 10 years?
College.
And then after college, are y'all going to get more schooling?
Yes.
What? Are y'all going to get master's degrees and doctoral degrees?
Yes.
So why is persistence important? Greg, tell us why.
Persistence is important because it can help you go other places.
How? How?
I know it.
Build on what Greg said, because that's an excellent point. Come on. Why is persistence important?
Because persistence is important, because if you doubt yourself, you're not going to get it right. Now, if you want to get a good education, you have to believe in yourself.
Right, excellent. I like the word doubt that you use. If you keep going and you keep trying, then you're going to continue to get it right. And remember when we were talking about building our reading stamina? Remember how, and I told you how if Miss McKissick goes to the gym today and tries to run on the treadmill for an hour, I might not make it because I don't go to the gym every day, right? But if I go to the gym every day and challenge myself just a little bit, so I try to run for 10 minutes, then I run for 15 minutes, then I run for 30 minutes, eventually, later on, am I going to be able to run for an hour?
Yes.
So if you keep challenging yourself, if you keep pushing yourself to overcome challenges and conquer difficult tasks, then later on in life, when you see something difficult, is it going to scare you?
No.
No. And when you get to college, when you get to your master's program, when you get to your PhD programs, when you become lawyers and teachers and doctors and inventors and basketball players and singers, there will be difficult times. And if you give up, someone else is right behind you waiting to take your position, waiting to take your spot. Only hard workers are successful. Okay? And who's the smartest kid in the world?
Me.
Who's the hardest worker in the world?
Me.
Who's going to be successful?
Me.
So then you guys have to show what?
Persistence.
What does Hit the space bar twice. Then hit enter. Says return.
Says return.
And now go ahead and press that.